There is a homemade tonic you can mix in your kitchen for under $4 using 4 grocery store ingredients that turns a patchy yellow lawn into the thickest, deepest green you have seen on your property in over a decade, not for 10 days before it fades back to that tired, washed-out look, for the entire growing season, getting stronger and thicker with every application because it feeds the living biology in your soil instead of bypassing it. Not a $30 bag of synthetic fertilizer that greens up your grass for 2 weeks and then burns out the microbial ecosystem underneath it. Not a $200 4-step annual program from the big box store that feeds the blades while starving the soil. Not a $60 per visit lawn care subscription that applies the same salt-based nitrogen compounds that have been making your lawn dependent on the next bag for the past 20 years. 4 ingredients: beer, molasses, household ammonia, and liquid dish soap. 1 cup of each into a gallon jug, diluted through a hose-end sprayer across your lawn once every 3 weeks. The tonic feeds the bacteria and fungi in the top few inches of your soil. Those microbes converting organic matter into the exact nutrients your grass needs in the exact form it can absorb. The grass thickens, deepens in color, and builds root density that holds through heat, drought, and heavy traffic, without you ever reaching for another bag. University agricultural extension bulletins from the 1930s and 1940s documented this approach as standard practice for maintaining turf on estates, golf courses, and public grounds. Test plots at land-grant universities showed up to a 40% increase in turf density using microbial feeding methods. Research from Cornell, Ohio State, and Michigan State has confirmed every piece of the soil biology over the past 3 decades. Then the synthetic fertilizer industry arrived after World War II, and the knowledge that every groundskeeper in America had used for generations was quietly replaced by a nitrogen in a branded bag. They did not suppress this because it failed. They buried it because you cannot patent beer, you cannot brand molasses, and you cannot build a $25 billion lawn care industry around 4 pantry ingredients that cost $1 per application. This is the story of the homemade lawn tonic, the soil feeding method that groundskeepers trusted for a century, and the one recipe a $25 billion industry prays you never mix in your own kitchen, in your own. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. Now let me take you back to where this all begins. In 1913, 2 German chemists named Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch figured out how to pull nitrogen out of the atmosphere and turn it into ammonia on an industrial scale. That breakthrough, that Haber-Bosch process, eventually fed billions of people and is considered one of the most important chemical inventions in human history. But after the Second World War, the same factories that had been producing ammonia for explosives needed a civilian market. They pivoted to manufacturing the synthetic lawn and agricultural fertilizer, and they needed customers. The marketing push that followed systematically displaced every traditional soil feeding method that American groundskeepers, farmers, and homeowners had used for generations. Depression-era farmers who could not afford store-bought fertilizer had been feeding their pasture and lawn with kitchen waste, molasses, manure tea, and fermented grain water. Estate groundskeepers maintained championship quality turf on tight budgets using homemade tonics that fed the soil biology rather than dosing the grass directly. Golf course crews in the 1920s and 1930s developed liquid feeding programs built around the same principle, microbial stimulation, through simple organic inputs. Those methods came from real necessity and real observation. They worked because the science underlying them, soil microbiology, is sound. Modern research from Cornell, Ohio State, and Michigan State has confirmed what those old groundskeepers discovered through trial and error. Healthy soil biology is the engine that drives turf quality. Synthetic nitrogen bypasses that engine, and in doing so, degrades it over time. By the 1960s, the synthetic fertilizer industry had captured the American lawn care market almost completely. The 4-step bag program became standard. The homemade tonic that every groundskeeper had used disappeared from consumer awareness. The old agricultural extension bulletins that documented exact recipes and application schedules went out of print and gathered dust in used bookstores and university archives. Now here's what happens at the biological level when you feed your soil instead of your grass. And this is the part of the fertilizer industry does not want explained in plain language. Your grass is not actually eating the fertilizer you put down. It cannot. Grass roots can only absorb nutrients that have been broken down by soil microbes, the bacteria and fungi living in the top few inches of your turf. When those microbes are healthy and active, they convert organic matter into the exact nutrients your grass needs in the exact molecular form it can use. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, iron, calcium, magnesium, all delivered to the root zone by organisms that have been doing this work for hundreds of millions of years before anyone invented a fertilizer bag. When you pour synthetic nitrogen on top of that ecosystem, two things happen simultaneously. The grass blades green up fast because they are soaking up quick-release nitrogen through the leaf surface. But underneath, the salt content of the synthetic fertilizer dehydrates and kills a significant portion of the soil microbes. Within 2 weeks, the green fades because the quick-release nitrogen is exhausted. The soil is weaker than before because the microbial population has been reduced. The grass looks worse. You reach for another bag. The cycle continues. The homemade tonic does the opposite. Every ingredient is chosen to wake up the microbes, feed them, and let them do the work of feeding your grass naturally. The beer provides B vitamins and live fermentation byproducts that soil bacteria thrive on. The molasses delivers simple sugars for immediate microbial energy, and trace minerals including iron, calcium, and magnesium that get cycled into the soil for the grass to use later. The ammonia provides nitrogen in a small diluted dose that soil bacteria can process and pass to the grass roots without burning anything. Yet in the dish soap acts as a surfactant that breaks the surface tension of the water, so the tonic penetrates into the soil instead of beating up on the grass blades, while also softening compacted soil over time. You are not bypassing the soil, you are partnering with it, and once the microbial ecosystem rebuilds, the lawn stops being a project that needs constant rescue and becomes a system that takes care of itself. If you've made it this far, you already understand more about turf biology than 99% of homeowners and most lawn care company employees applying synthetic fertilizer from the back of a truck. Subscribe and share this with someone still buying the 4-step bag program every spring and wondering why their lawn looks worse every year. Now stay with me, because what comes next is the part they really do not want you to hear. The American lawn care industry generates over $25 billion a year. Synthetic lawn fertilizer alone accounts for billions in annual retail revenue. The average homeowner spends between $200 and $500 per year on lawn fertilizer, weed control, and related products. Professional lawn care subscriptions run $60 to $120 per visit, with most programs requiring 4 to 8 visits per year. Over a decade, a typical suburban homeowner spends between $2,000 and $5,000 feeding their lawn products that degrade the soil biology underneath it with every application. Compare that to the homemade tonic. 4 grocery store ingredients costing under $4 for a full gallon of concentrate. 1 gallon covers a standard quarter-acre lawn 4 times. That works out to approximately $1 per application. 6 to 8 applications per growing season means the total annual cost for a complete lawn feeding program is under $8. $8 versus $200 to $500 for the same season of care, with results that compound rather than degrade because you are building soil health rather than burning through it. You cannot patent beer. You cannot patent molasses. You cannot create a subscription model around a recipe that any homeowner can mix in their kitchen in 5 minutes. You cannot build a $25 billion industry on 4 ingredients that cost $1 per application and produce results that get better every year instead of worse. And you cannot justify a $30 bag of synthetic nitrogen when the same lawn responds more deeply and more durably to $1 worth of pantry ingredients applied through a $10 hose end sprayer. So the fertilizer industry did what every industry does when a cheap, unpatentable solution threatens a high-margin product line. They marketed nitrogen as the answer to everything. They built color-coded seasonal programs that trained homeowners to buy bags on a calendar. They invested millions in advertising that showed perfect green lawns next to their branded products. And they let the old groundskeeper knowledge, the extension bulletins, and the trial and error recipes that Depression-era farmers had passed down for generations, quietly disappear from mainstream awareness. I need to be honest about the limitations, because credibility matters. The tonic feeds soil biology and builds long-term turf health. But it does not provide the instant green up that synthetic nitrogen delivers in 3 days. Expect a noticeable color shift in 7 to 10 days, and real density in 3 to 4 weeks. Be patient. The soil is rebuilding underneath you. The tonic also works best when soil temperature is above 55 degrees Fahrenheit because the microbes are dormant in cold soil. In USDA zones 7 through 10, you can apply from early March through late October. In zones 4 through 6, mid-April through mid-September. In zones 2 and 3, mid-May through late August. And more is not better. If you double the concentration, you will burn the grass and stress the microbes. Stick to the ratio. There are 4 patterns that sabotage results even with the right tonic. And most homeowners are stuck in at least 2 of them. The first is overwatering. Shallow daily to watering trains, grass roots to stay near the surface where they dry out fast and stress easily. The old groundskeepers knew the answer. Water deeply, about 1 inch, once or twice a week. Deep roots mean a tougher lawn. The second is mowing too short. Scalping your lawn to 1.5 inches exposes the soil to direct sun, kills the microbes you just fed, and invites every weed seed in the neighborhood. Raise the deck. The grass shades itself. The third is bagging clippings. Clippings left on the lawn return up to 30% of the nitrogen your grass needs for free. Bagging them removes that organic matter and forces you to replace it with more product. The fourth is applying the tonic in direct sun during the hottest part of the day. The active ingredients evaporate before they soak in. Morning or evening only. Now here's exactly how to do it. Step 1. Mix the concentrate. Combine 1 cup of regular cheap beer, 1 cup of plain blackstrap molasses, 1 cup of clear household ammonia, not lemon-scented and not sudsy, and 1 cup of regular liquid dish soap, not the antibacterial kind, in a clean 1-gallon jug. That is your concentrate. Step 2. Dilute and apply. Pour 1 cup of concentrate into a hose-in sprayer jar, the kind that attaches to your garden hose and costs $10 to $12 at any hardware store. Set the sprayer dial to approximately 2 tablespoons per gallon. When you turn the hose on, the sprayer mixes that 1 cup of concentrate with roughly 20 gallons of water as it sprays. 1 full sprayer jar covers approximately 2,500 square feet. Step 3. Apply in the early morning between 6 and 8 a.m. or after 6 p.m. in the evening, never in the middle of a hot sunny day. Direct sun evaporates the active ingredients before they soak in. Walk the lawn at a steady pace, sweeping the sprayer side to side like painting a wall. Do not linger in one spot. You want even light coverage across the whole area. Step 4. Water lightly within an hour of application. Approximately 1/4 inch of water is plenty. You are not flushing the tonic away. You are helping it move from the grass blades down into the root zone where the microbes live. Step 5. Repeat every 3 weeks during the active growing season. For most of the country, that means 6 to 8 applications per year. Skip applications during deep summer heat above 90 degrees for several consecutive days, and during winter dormancy. Step 6. Between applications, mow at the higher end of your grass type's range. 3.5 to 4 inches for cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass, fescue, and ryegrass. 2.5 to 3 inches for warm season grasses like Bermuda, zoysia, and St. Augustine. Taller grass shades the soil, holds moisture, and protects the microbes you are feeding. Leave your clippings on the lawn. Grass clippings return up to 30% of the nitrogen your lawn needs for free. Step 7. For the finishing trick that separates a green lawn from a professionally maintained emerald lawn, add 2 ounces of liquid chelated iron to your hose-end sprayer, along with the regular tonic, once a month during the growing season. Iron does not feed the grass the way nitrogen does. It intensifies the chlorophyll in the blades, deepening the green color dramatically without forcing top growth. Research from Michigan State turf programs has shown for decades that iron is what separates a green lawn from a great-looking lawn. A bottle of liquid chelated iron costs about $15 at any garden center and lasts an entire season. A homeowner in suburban Ohio documented his switch from a synthetic fertilizer to the homemade tonic in 2022 after watching his lawn decline for 3 consecutive seasons, despite spending over $400 per year on the 4-step bag program. He applied the tonic every 3 weeks, from April through September, added chelated iron monthly starting in May, raised his mowing height to 3.5 inches, and stopped bagging his clippings. By mid-June, the lawn was thicker than it had been in a decade. His total annual cost dropped from $400 to under $12, including the iron supplement. His neighbor, still using the bag program at the same cost, asked him in August what service he had hired. The chemistry inside that $30 bag of synthetic fertilizer delivers quick-release nitrogen that greens up the blades for 2 weeks, while the salt content kills the microbial ecosystem that keeps the lawn healthy long-term. The chemistry inside a $4 kitchen tonic has been feeding soil biology since Depression-era groundskeepers mixed the same ingredients for the same reasons on tight budgets nearly a century ago. One requires a seasonal calendar of branded purchases and produces results that degrade every year. The other requires a gallon jug, a hose-end sprayer, and produces results that compound every season. $25 billion in annual lawn care revenue depends on you never mixing 4 pantry ingredients in a gallon jug. $30 bags of synthetic fertilizer depend on you believing that a thick green lawn requires salt-based nitrogen from a factory. And $60 per visit lawn subscriptions depend on you never reading a 1930s agricultural extension bulletin that documented the exact same results from $1's worth of kitchen ingredients. This knowledge did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared from consumer awareness because it worked too well and cost too little for anyone to build a seasonal product line around it. Soil bacteria do not care about brand names. Microbial biology does not negotiate with marketing calendars. And a recipe that Depression-era farmers passed down through generations has never charged a licensing fee. If this video changed how you think about the bag of fertilizer in your garage, the lawn care subscription on your credit card, or the 4 ingredients sitting in your kitchen right now, then subscribe and share it now. Every single share puts this knowledge in front of someone the fertilizer industry assumed would never mix beer and molasses in a gallon jug. And every subscription keeps this channel digging deeper into the secrets they thought were sealed forever.